And Bruins lose in Tampa Bay to the Lightning. Did you know it was the first time in 35 games back to January 6th of 2022 where the Celtics and Bruins each lost on the same night? Hey, Celtic fans, Bruins cough one up in overtime tonight in Florida. You better watch out. Mike Cousins, McNutt, back to you.
Well, look, there are 23 retired jerseys that hang in this building, but Kevin, you should know Boston sports fans have suffered quite a bit over the course of the last several decades. Don't make it hurt too much. My cousins, Monica and McNutt, with you here. Sellout at the TD Garden in Boston. The Celtics at 35-15, the best record in the NBA. They are trying. Second on Patrick Beverley and the third against the Lakers here in the third quarter.
There is momentum, but there's also seems to be more continuity amongst the Lakers side right now, whether that's credited to the energy with which Patrick Beverley has been playing with as he goes to the bench in exchange for Lonnie Walker the fourth, excuse me. But this is the Celtics. If they are to fulfill their championship aspirations of the season, you've got to be able to weather these type of storms.
On the inbound, Tatum. Over the course of the last several decades. Don't make it. Hurt too much. My cousins, Monica and McNutt, with you here. Sellout at the TD Garden in Boston. The Celtics at 35-15, the best record in the NBA. They are trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Second 3-game skid they've had this year, their longest losing streak of the season. And the Lakers 23-26, 13th in the West to start the night. Out of the timeout, Lakers by 9, their largest lead of the night, 8:15 to go, third quarter. In the front court right, it's Tatum, lost his dribble, scooped up by Beverly, going 2-on-1 against Brogdon. Beverly feeds to the lane, and it's LeBron on the right side who rises and drops it over the cylinder. Lakers 67, Celtics 56, an 11-0 run. And 9 of those points came on triples that caused the Boston timeout.
2 by LeBron, 1 by Patrick Beverly, and LeBron wanted the oop on that last play as Malcolm Brogdon gets involved in the triple action from the right side for the Celtics. Listen, this is becoming a mental game right here, in my opinion, Mike Cousins. You got a Lakers squad with Grizzly veterans that are clawing for wins. They've been uncomfortable this season. This is unfamiliar territory for the Celtics as Patrick Beverly finds Dennis Schroeder in the corner.
And Schroeder lobs it to Davis in the short corner. He's double teamed, so he flips it to the top of the key for Beverly. James, left angle, 1 to shoot, puts it up. Oh, around and out. And the rebound down to Boston. Brogdon in the orange sneakers pushes the pace. Tatum goes 1-on-2. Offensive foul as he bowled right through Brown. Tatum picks up his first foul of the day. The turnover gives it back to the Lakers, who lead by 8. 7:15 to go in the third.
The Celtics seem rushed to me right now. There seems to be trending from urgency to erratic. They need to settle in just a bit.
They are without Marcus Smart, their point guard, missing his 4th straight. So his absence has coincided with their losing streak. Schroeder, a lob for Davis, too tall, but a foul on the lob. And it's going against Malcolm Brogdon of Boston. That's his first. And the second team foul of the quarter with 7:03 to go in the third. LA 67, Boston 59. Troy Brown goes to the bench for the Lakers. Thomas Bryant, the big man, returns to the game. So it's Beverly, Westbrook, Davis, James, and Schroeder on the floor for LA in the yellow. For the Celtics in green, Jason Tatum, Grant Williams, Al Horford, Malcolm Brogdon, along with Jaylen Brown. Celtics on defense, left end, James straight away. Brogdon a hand in his face. James puts up the 3, and it rims out. LeBron right now with 23. That's a game high. Williams, top of the key. LeBron sags off. Dribble handoff, Jaylen Brown between the rings. He goes left, picks up his dribble, sends it to the far side corner. 3 in the air, no good for Horford. A rebound to the Lakers. They push Beverly from right to left. Up top, Westbrook. He drives into the lane. Finger roll off the rim, the backboard, and 69-59 Lakers. It was a 9-point lead. Boston, and the Celtics now trail by 10. Brogdon, 1 step behind the free throw line, pulls up, fades away, and misses the jumper. Beverly speeding ahead to Schroeder at the right angle. He dribbles into the lane, almost lost his dribble, now picks it back up at the left side. Trying to feed the post. Horford with the steal, finds Brown in transition, and he's fouled on the move by Beverly, the second on Patrick Beverly, and the third against the Lakers here in the third quarter.
There is momentum, but there's also seems to be more continuity amongst the Lakers side right now, whether that's credited to the energy with which Patrick Beverly has been playing with as he goes to the bench in exchange for Lonnie Walker the fourth. But this is the Celtics. If they are to fulfill their championship aspirations of the season, you've got to be able to weather these type of storms.
On the inbound, Tatum with a 3. His first field goal since early in the second quarter, with 10.5 minutes to go in the second, makes it 69-62 LA. Tatum with 11 points.
And that is one way to begin weathering the storm.
Can they weather the LeBron James drive left of the lane? He missed his lay-in and rises back to put in his own miss.
He attacks on the left side, is the first person off the ground to corral the rebound on the left side. Guys, we are just continuing to enjoy a tremendous historic career in LeBron James.
25 for James as LA is up 71-62. Tatum at the right angle, guarded by James. A left-handed hip-high dribble. Pulls up for three and splashes it down right on top of James. Tatum reciprocates, and he's got 14.
And this is the elevation of Jason Tatum's game. LeBron James was playing excellent defense on that possession, but he rose and was able to knock down that three.
Russell Westbrook lost his dribble. The Lakers re-corral. A lob to the right block, and there's Lonnie Walker from Schroeder.
There's just more energy on the Lakers side right now. I mean, if Walker gets a step ahead, that's probably an alley-oop dunk.
Tatum, in and out dribble into the lane against Bryant, who stood tall and turns him away. It's the Lakers 5-on-4, right to left. Schroeder at the left angle, stops, pulls up from three, short off the front rim. On the breakaway, Tatum left to right against Schroeder, and he missed the layup, but he's fouled by Schroeder.
Wow. Couple of things to take in on that one. On the opposite possession for the Lakers, Thomas Bryant wanted an oop badly before Schroeder settled for that three. On the other side, Schroeder falls on the ground after he's called for the foul against Jason Tatum, which becomes a technical foul because of the demonstrative nature of his reaction.
So it's Tatum standing all by his lonesome at the right side free throw line, and the free throw is pure. 73-66, the lead for the Lakers. To go back to the foul in transition by Schroeder, did you think the contact warranted a foul?
Initially, no. And again, it was one of those later whistles, in my opinion.
A trend today.
But I also think Schroeder can be smarter than that. You don't even need to put that in the hands of the official. Just let him miss the layup. Yeah, he missed the layup. And Schroeder was on the opposite side. He took a reverse with his right on the left side, and Schroeder was on his left side.
Now Tatum shooting the personal, and he makes the first. Some conversation with Schroeder. They're just talking in a friendly way there. And Tatum comes back to the line to shoot his second. LeBron shouts out some offensive instructions as Tatum makes the free throw. 73-68, 4:25 to go, third quarter, and LA with the lead and the ball as they come right to left. Westbrook, top of the key off a LeBron screen and a Bryant screen. Zips it left wing. Walker, three in the air. No. White clears, and Tatum brings it across the circular Celtics logo at midcourt. A high screen, Horford. Tatum right into a three. Off the heel of the rim, and the rebound to Westbrook. He wants to run. Feeds up ahead, Walker, and he jams it home. Grant Williams left at the other end, talking to the official, Eric Lewis, holding his right shoulder. He does not look okay.
As someone who dealt with a subluxing shoulder, I hope that's one of those stinger situations and Grant is not lost. Well, now he catches the basketball. He's fine.
So he's got it at the right wing. Pump fakes past LeBron. Goes to the basket. Contact with Bryant. The layup is no good, and it's secured by Walker. This is full speed ahead into the front court left for the Lakers, who lead by 7. Schroeder slows it down. Westbrook at the right angle. Feeds LeBron, and it's out of bounds in the lane. James couldn't handle the feed from Westbrook.
Fundamentally, Joe Mazzulla is not a big timeout guy. He likes for his players to work through it and make adjustments. However, the Celtics to me need a timeout.
Well, Monica, that really came under the spotlight as well late in that game that you called Thursday against the Knicks. In overtime, they got into some situations where the shot selection was less than optimal.
Yeah, and I do understand both sides of the coin. You call a timeout, you allow your defense to get set. But with more 3 minutes or so to go in this ballgame, that's not an issue.
Kornet from the right elbow, lobs to Tatum under the basket, a couple of dribbles, and he finishes. Jason Tatum continues to have a big night. He's up to 19 to lead the Celtics. 75-70, Lakers in front. Walker driving left to right across the lane. It's taken away by Kornet. Brogdon leads the charge from the top of the key down the right side of the lane. Lay-in is good. And it's a three-point game. 75-72. Lakers with the lead, and Darvin Ham calls timeout.
He's not bashful about using them. I will say, the Celtics did seem to be working through it, to Mazzulla's credit, allowing this team to develop in that way. But there's far too much yapping at the officials from the Celtics 1 through 5. Like, play ball. You look up, it's a three-point ball game. Play ball.
A lot of talk, but a lot of time left as well. 2:49 in the third. Lakers up 75-72. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
This is it. Enough dreaming about growing my business online. It's time to get serious about selling in my style, as big as I want to grow, because there's nothing I can't do. It's time to get Shopify.
You go and get it.
Oh, oops. I thought I was just talking to myself there. But heck yeah, I do. It's time to take my business to the next level. Start selling with Shopify to join the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Packed with industry-leading tools ready to ignite your growth, Shopify gives you complete control over your business and your brand. From templates that make site design simple to customizations that let you grow at your pace. This is possibility powered by Shopify. Get a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/play. That's shopify.com/play. Go to shopify.com/play to take your business to the next level today.
You can't ask for more than we're getting for conference championship weekend. You got Brock Purdy against Jalen Hurts in the early game, legacies at stake, and then the main event, Patrick Mahomes against Joe Burrow, will be the place to talk about it. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The Hoop Collective Podcast.
I'm at our ESPN LA studios. You may remember that Bev did a couple of days of work for ESPN last year.
No, I remember. I was on with him.
He left a gorgeous Dolce & Gabbana suit here that is just spectacular.
You should wear it on TV today, Brian.
I do not believe it will fit me, only because the arms are too long. You're across the street. Come over and get it. It's got to be at least a $7,000 suit.
The Hoop Collective Podcast. Listen on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can't miss a moment with Greeny.
The level of enthusiasm about Sean Payton is much higher amongst fans than it is amongst people inside. Yeah, Drew Brees all those years, and he won one Super Bowl and didn't get to another one. Now, Sean has like a dynamism about him that is very appealing, and so I think people are excited about the idea of him coming to coach their team. I would be too, but I don't get the sense that every team in the NFL is killing themselves to try and hire him.
Greeny, weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app.
Kevin Winter with you inside our studios. Update around the association and Minnesota. The T-Wolves with a 110-101 lead over Sacramento. 3 minutes to go in that ball game. Sacramento starts the ninth, third in the NBA's Western Conference. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max recap everything from over the weekend, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday morning. Lots of NBA, but of course, there's this little thing called some football games coming up tomorrow. Hey, McNutt and Cousins, it's amazing what happens when you play some defense for either one of these two teams. I feel like the first one to do it consistently is going to win. It's an interesting philosophy. Back to you in Boston.
Can you hear me clapping in my mic, Winter? Way to go. The team that plays defense is going to find a way to win. You're so smart, bud.
You know what they say? You got to make shots in this league to win games.
Yeah, they also say it's a make or miss league.
So they say. And we are back underway at TD Garden, 2:45 to go third quarter. Lakers have had their lead trimmed to 3 on a Celtics run. It's Los Angeles in the front court left. Westbrook at the right elbow feeds to Davis in the lane, poked away. It's White on the breakout, and he rises to flush it through for the Celtics. 75-74, LA leads by 1. Westbrook at the left angle, spins into the lane, puts it up, left it short, contested by White, who grabs the rebound. He gives to Tatum, top of the key. Left wing, Brogdon, 3, yes! And the Celtics reclaim the lead. 77-75 with 2:08 to go in the third quarter.
To Kevin Winter's point, all jokes aside, both of these teams have the ability to defend. Which team is going to hold on to the basketball? Because turnovers leading to easy opportunities has been a huge trend on both teams' run.
It's as loud as it's been in this building tonight, courtesy of a 9-0 Boston Celtics run. Davis misses, and an acrobatic follow and putback falls through for Russell Westbrook. He popped up from the right block and just tipped it back in. 77 all, 95 seconds remaining third quarter. Celtics looking to score at the basket right end. Tatum in the far left corner. Fouled on the drive by Westbrook. And the foul is the second against the LA Guards. 15 fouls, so it'll be Tatum to the line here for 2. Jason Tatum tonight, 19 points. With one more point, it'll be his 22nd straight game with at least 20. That's the second longest streak active in the league right now. And his first is no good, so still sitting at 19. The longest streak of 20 or more points belongs to LeBron James. He's 2 straight games with a game-high 25. Tied at 77, a minute 29 to go in the third quarter. Tatum missed the first and the second. Is good. 20 points for Jason Tatum to pace the Celtics. Jaylen Brown just behind him with 17. Second meeting of the season. Last month, it was a Boston win in LA in overtime. Westbrook, slow dribble into the front court left. He's at the free throw line, speeds to the basket, puts it up. Oh, wow. How did that go in?
Yeah, there's some contact on that one as well.
He is slow to get back. 5-on-4 at the right end for Boston. Tatum with a right wing three. Yes! Jason Tatum up to 23 points. Boston by 2.
Anthony Davis turned quizzically confused as to why Jason Tatum was so wide open. It was because Russell Westbrook took so long to get back in the play.
16 of Tatum's 23 here in the third. Luke Cornett rejects it on Russell Westbrook. Here comes White, left to right for Boston. Williams finds Brogdon in the near corner. His triple around and out. That might have taken the roof off the building. Celtics now right to left. Hachimura at the right wing. Drops it off back for Westbrook. He passes into the lane. Tipped off the backboard. Davis got it. Had it taken away by Boston. 26 seconds left in the third quarter. 18 to shoot, about a 5-second difference as Joe Mazzulla, the Celtics head coach, points out the play he wants rather than calling timeout to draw it up.
Another live ball turnover, and here the Celtics are with the chance to get the final score.
Tatum lost his dribble, back to midcourt, 3 to shoot. He pulls up top of the key, and it's around and out, no good. Rebound down to Davis, feeds ahead, Hachimura dunks it with 0.3 of a second to go in the third quarter.
An incredible pass from Anthony Davis to Rui Hachimura, completely in stride, and the Lakers get the final shot with a dunk.
Anthony Davis looking like he could be on the field tomorrow in the conference championship games in the NFL, and we are tied at 81 at the end of the third. What a night here in Boston. We go to the fourth. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Canty and Carlin.
I was thinking about something, Carlin. We could set up a charity cage match between you and Jim Gray and have the proceeds, split it, and have it go to the charities of you guys choosing.
How long do you think that would last?
I don't think it'd be long.
No.
I think the build-up, the anticipation is what would hook everybody in.
It's just, all I was doing was showing a proper respect to a Hall of Fame broadcaster. That's what it says on his Twitter bio, that he's a Hall of Fame broadcaster. So I can only go, I don't know what Hall of Fame that is.
Wow.
But I don't.
Dude, there's a palm tree growing behind your head as we speak. You're throwing so much shade at Jim Gray. I feel the smoke coming from Chris Carlin toward Jim Gray, and I feel like this is an outlet for it.
Much like Dylan Brooks, he don't want these problems.
Oh, you're going to go Shannon Sharp on him. What if Jim Gray called you a pedestrian?
Well, he wouldn't be wrong.
Canty and Carlin, weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio. You can also listen and watch on the ESPN app. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Yeah, I'm thinking about for Valentine's Day with the wife, thinking like some chocolates, some flowers, maybe do like a nice dinner, something like that. Answer
Max?
your question before.
What's Valentine's Day?
You want to know?
One of those.
We made up holiday. So you don't do anything. You do nothing for Valentine's Day.
What are they gonna do now? It's Ground Day.
GJ and Max, followed by Greeny. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Kevin Utcher with you inside our studios.
Left wing three, yes! 9 straight on three-pointers for the Lakers. Timeout Boston as LA has its largest lead of the night, 65-56.
LeBron James 10 in the quarter. He's got 25. He went to the bench. The Lakers led by 7. Boston, however, claimed the 2-point lead late, but then gave up a last-second bucket. I mean, with what, 3/10, 8/10, whatever it was, seconds left to go. And we go to the fourth. Lakers and Celtics tied at 81. McNutt and Cousins, I guess we wouldn't want it any other way. Back to you, TD Garden.
You got it exactly right, Kevin. And lucky the Leprechaun was just out at center court. In case you were somehow unaware that it was the fourth quarter, his giant flag simply said fourth quarter.
I did capture the giant flag on my Instagram story because I thought it was unique.
So here we go. I should do that in life. When I wake up, I just hold up a sign to my dogs that says, I'm waking up now. It's time for a walk.
In my cycle classes that I teach, when we get to the last 15 minutes of class, I tell my crew, my background in sports, guess what? You've made it to the fourth quarter. Let's finish strong.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Climbs or sprints?
A little bit of both. We got some climbs, lots of climbs to finish. Got to finish on a high note.
But we got, like Miley Cyrus, a climb here to finish it out. Just underway, fourth quarter. 81 all, Boston and L.A. Lakers in the front court left. Beverly gives it to LeBron. And the far side corner guarded there by White. He kicks Hachimura at the left angle, puts up a three off the back rim. And the rebound belongs to Boston and Jaylen Brown.
Jason Tatum reached for that rebound and then corralled it. I guess that was a one-handed pass to Jaylen Brown.
Did you get the rebound for that one?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too.
At the high left wing, Jaylen Brown holds over his head, goes right off a Cornet screen. He's at the free throw line, shakes free, puts up the shot, no good, and he gets called for the offensive foul. That's 5 fouls on Jaylen Brown here, just 35 seconds into the fourth quarter.
Another important thing to watch as we get into this fourth is Anthony Davis is just his second game back.
And so Anthony Davis, we were told by Darvin Ham, the Lakers head coach, before the game, they were going to increase his minutes just incrementally. He played 26 when he came back in their last game Wednesday. Thinking about maybe 28 today. He's on the bench here to start the fourth quarter, saving him perhaps for the final moments. James in the lane, lost his dribble, picked it up under the basket. It's 1-on-3. He dribbles out of that to the left side short corner. 4 to shoot, guarded by Cornet. James a fadeaway, rattles halfway down. No. Brogdon the rebound for Boston. He gives it to Tatum straight away, guarded by Beverly. Tatum backs down, left side of the lane, missed it, gets his own rebound, and floats it off the glass for a pair. Tatum now tied with LeBron for a game-high 25 as Boston leads by 2.
Both of these teams obviously have tremendous one-on-one players available, but they have both also been better when the ball at least moves 2 passes.
Beverly gives it to James just inside the arc straight away. Brogdon presses up on James. He dribbles down the mid-post right, zips it to the near corner. Beverly a 3, good! Patrick Beverly vaults the Lakers back in front, 84-83.
The Lakers, wow, they're just shooting 26% from 3, but they are dominating in the paint, 46 paint points.
Brogdon for 3, front rim, backboard, no. Bryant clears it, sprints back down the floor. It's James on the dribble. Bullies his way into Grant Williams, goes up, and it's a foul on Boston. On Grant Williams, his third, and the first against Boston here in the fourth quarter. Exactly 10 minutes to play. Los Angeles 84, Boston 83.
These will be just the 11th and 12th free throws for the Lakers compared to the 26. And Boston is shooting 22 of 26, 85% just about from the free throw line, which is very, very impressive.
LeBron's first free throw is good. He's up to 26, averaging 30 points a game this year in his 20th season. And no player has ever averaged even 20 points a game in their 20th season or later. Remarkable what he continues to do at age 38. James takes one dribble at the left side basket, swishes the second free throw. James now with 27, the Lakers 86 and the Celtics 83. Derek White for Boston comes across the logo at midcourt with a hip-high left-hand dribble. One bounce pass right to Cornet, who turns to square up. Looking to get it to Tatum all the way near midcourt. Tipped back by Hachimura into the backcourt. And Tatum corrals into the front court right. 4 to shoot, 3 in the air. Off the front rim, no. Bryant a strong two-handed rebound for the Lakers. Schroeder comes up the near sideline, gives to LeBron. Transition 3 is good. LeBron James now with 30 points. And it's the Lakers by 6.
And even in the land of the Lakers' greatest rival, TD Garden Arena, the Celtics home court, there are a number of Lakers fans that stood and applauded on that 3.
He was the highlight of pregame warm-ups, that's for sure. White on the drive, and he's fouled by Schroeder. That's on the floor. Fourth on Dennis Schroeder for the Lakers, their first foul here in the fourth quarter. 9:13 to play. The Lakers 89, the Celtics 83. Inbound on the far sideline as White floats in for Brogdon. Guarded there by Schroeder. Between the circles for Brogdon. Capable shooter from three. Dishes right for Tatum at the angle. Guarded by James. And Tatum a no-look baseline feed to no one. It goes out of bounds. Intended for Brogdon. A Celtics turnover. Their 10th of the day. White picks up in the full court against Hachimura, who takes the inbound pass from Schroeder on the run into the front court left. James guarded by Tatum. That's the star matchup tonight. Pull up three off the side iron. Brogdon's got it, and his eyes look ahead, looking to dish as he comes up the floor left to right. Tatum right wing, Schroeder close on him. Tatum gives it back to Brogdon straight away. Near corner, wide open. Derek White for three. Got it. 89-86 Los Angeles.
An impressive display of patience there, even from Jason Tatum, who was being guarded by Dennis Schroeder. I'm sure he felt like he had the height advantage, but Tatum on the other end just fouled LeBron James. Instead of Tatum forcing the shot versus Schroeder, goes back to Malcolm Brogdon. Derek White, quality wide open corner three.
Second foul on Tatum, and the second team foul against Boston in the fourth quarter. 8:29 to go. Al Horford returns, sending Luke Cornett to the bench. Getting back to a closer look at what they had in their starting lineup. Cornett has been a valuable asset defensively off the bench here today. Schroeder takes it in between the circles. Has a LeBron screen right. Now LeBron rescreens to let Schroeder go left. Instead, he goes away from the screen, spins into the lane, and lays it in for two. Nice move there from Schroeder, who's up to 9 points. And the Lakers' lead is back to 5. It's Brogdon between the circles. Goes right off a screen from Grant Williams. Gives it to Williams, top of the key. Chest pass to the far left wing. It's Tatum, guarded by James. 6 on the shot clock. Brogdon at the high right wing. To Tatum straight away. One dribble left. Step back three. It is no good off the front rim. And Brogdon an offensive rebound. Gives it to Tatum. Drives the lane. Scoops it up with the right and missed. Tatum at close range, grimacing as he runs back down the floor on defense. Schroeder top of the key. Guarded by White. Crossover dribble. Now backs it out. He's into the left side short corner. Pulls up. And he rattles home the jumper. LeBron, 30 points. And the rest of the starting lineup now has 25 points after that Schroeder bucket. Brogdon pass to the near corner. Horford with a three. Off the heel of the rim. James secures the LA rebound. He pushes right to left in transition. Gives to Beverly at the left angle. He drives to the block. Kick up top. Schroeder puts up a three. Got nothing but glass. And now the Celtics come the other way, left to right.
The Lakers have just made their presence felt on the glass. 38 points, and while that margin is only 2 more than what the Boston Celtics have, the Lakers have 20 second chance point compared to just 8 for the Celtics.
Timeout taken by Los Angeles with 6:58 to go. The Lakers 93 and the Celtics 86 here in the fourth quarter. You're listening to the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
We went real hard on Josh Allen. Josh Allen has not reached the so when you gonna do it, dog. Right? Like I didn't hear that surrounding conversation around that dude.
The Right Time with Bomani Jones.
You can listen or follow on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Did you miss Canty and Carlin?
My wife is a huge Niners fan. I'll tell you where I scored some points. She was very happy that I used the word we when I was talking about the Niners.
Kind of like that with Michigan football for me. Like my wife is a diehard Michigan fan. You know, doesn't really watch a whole lot of sports, but when Michigan football is on, locked in. And fully expects that I refer to Michigan football as we, knowing that I played football at UVA. Another program in a different conference.
Canty and Carlin, weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio. You can also listen and watch on the ESPN app. The biggest names in sports are on ESPN Radio.
Vince Wilfork, 2-time Super Bowl champion, Patriots Hall of Famer.
This year wasn't his greatest year, but I don't think that Tom will leave the game off of this.
Jimmy Smith, former Jacksonville Jaguar wide receiver, 2-time Super Bowl champion.
No Urban Meyer. Doug Peterson is what happened. You can see that they are playing for him. They're playing hard for him.
Brandon Jacobs, former New York Giants running back.
You need around a guy like Purdy versus Daniel Jones or Dak Prescott. You know, Purdy just up there swinging that thing and playing football. He's a lot cooler. should I say.
Rayshon Jenkins, Jag safety.
It looks pretty perfect to me, man. I'm probably going to get some hair tips from him, man. I like my hair tips.
I'm here with quarterback Stetson Bennett.
National champions 2023, baby. We won the game, and they're going to be back next year. I can promise you that.
The biggest names in sports come here. And it all starts weekday mornings with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. And continues all day. This is ESPN Radio.
The football playoffs are here, and nothing beats seeing your favorite team live. Not only does Vivid Seats have great NFL ticket prices, they're also the official ticketing partner of ESPN. And with Vivid Seats rewards, when you buy 10 tickets, you get the 11th free. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Life happens live. Receive a reward credit equal to the average price of the 10 tickets purchased, excluding taxes, fees, and processing costs. See vividseats.com/rewards for terms and conditions.
Kevin Richard with you inside our studios. Couple of updates. Minnesota beat Sacramento 117-110. Clippers open up their portion of the Grammy road trip, 120-113 winners in Atlanta tonight. Washington has just gone final, leading New Orleans and beating New Orleans 113-103. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max starts your morning, Monday morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. And don't forget, championship weekend gets underway tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern, with the best week ever, followed by countdown to kickoff right here on ESPN Radio. Lakers with a dominant fourth quarter, lead Boston 12-5 in the quarter, lead Boston 93-86. Back to the Garden with Monica McNutt. Here's Mike Cousins.
Thank you, Kevin. As the Lakers break their huddle off to our left, it'll be LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Dennis Schroeder, Patrick Beverley, and Troy Brown for L.A. The Lakers come out of their huddle with Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, Al Horford, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. Leading scorer today, Jason Tatum with 25 for the Celtics, and LeBron James with 30 for LA. In the front court right, it's the Celtics in their green jerseys, down 93-86 inside 7 minutes to go. 9 on the shot clock. It's Brown straight away. He picks up his dribble at the free throw line, turns, fades, and scores.
A little home cooking on the way that ball nestled into the rim and found the bottom of the net.
Soft touch for Jaylen Brown. Up to 19 now. He and Tatum, one of the best 1-2 punches in the NBA. 93-88 Lakers. James at the top of the key. Bounce speed. Davis soars down the lane, jams it through for 2.
The pressure on the paint continues. The Lakers have really been relentless at attacking this Celtics defense, minus Robert Williams.
Brown straight away. Blows by Schroeder. Gets to the left block. Puts it off the glass for a pair. In the blink of an eye, a lightning bolt down the lane. 95-90. Lakers lead the Celtics. 6 minutes, fourth quarter. Schroeder brings it across midcourt, gives it up to James, standing right near the logo, guarded by Tatum. He's got a Davis screen right. Tatum blows that up, and they switch off as Brogdon picks up James at the top of the key. LeBron, one dribble, spins left, hangs, fouled, layup try, no good, but it sends James to the line. Brogdon, foul number 2.
LeBron James is just sending messages at this point. Again, he is a great one-on-one and puts a ton of pressure on the rim. I am personally not in favor of one-man possessions at this point in this ball game. But we'll see. If there's anybody that you trust and let do his thing, it's one LeBron James.
First free throw. Hit the rim right, bounced off left, no good. 95-90 Los Angeles. James has been spectacular today in 33 minutes. Including 5 of 10 from 3.
He continues to make history as well, becoming the first NBA player to record 130-point games with 3 different franchises.
Success has followed wherever he has gone. Now 96-90 after the second free throw made, and Brogdon looks over to his head coach Joe Mazzulla, the sideline to our right. Gives to Horford right in front of the Celtics bench. Horford, chest pass to Brogdon at the top of the key. Brogdon, right-hand dribble down the lane, lays it up and scores.
It's a very strong take by Malcolm Brogdon, one of the bigger point guards in the league. That time he splits 2 defenders at the top of the key and is able to finish on Patrick Beverley.
The Lakers have led by as many as 11, the Celtics by as many as 9. Right now a 4-point game with 5 minutes to go. It's Davis in the short corner on the far side. Double team comes. He turns over his left shoulder, vaults it up, no good. Outlet pass to White up the far sideline.
Kudos to Malcolm Brogdon, who's at a disadvantage defending Davis.
He drives. It's Brogdon and rolled it off the rim on the lay-in try. That would have made it a 2-point ball game. Schroeder into the front court left. And timeout, Darvin Ham and the Lakers with 4:43 to go. Don't hold your breath, because you might pass out with the way this game's going. Lakers 96, Celtics 92. 4 minutes, 43 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Gifting her Tommy John underwear for Valentine's Day? I don't know. Isn't that weird?
What's weird is you're a grown man that's scared to gift underwear. Come on, it's a bold move. And everyone loves getting Tommy John, because in Tommy John, you can do everything better. They even have Valentine's Day limited editions.
I don't know if we're ready for that.
Yes, you are. You're a Tommy John guy. And the Tommy John guy is self-assured and confident because he's supported. You know how amazing the men's underwear feels? It's insanely soft and breathable. Shouldn't she get to feel that too? This is Valentine-y effort for Valen. Huge reward.
I guess I could pick some up for myself too right now on my phone. And everything is still covered by their risk-free best pair guarantee.
Of course, even pajamas. Comfort at every layer. Now, what size is she?
Guys, I'm sitting right here, and I'm a medium.
Shop TommyJohn.com/stream and get 20% off your first purchase. 20% off at TommyJohn.com/stream. See site for details.
The NFL playoffs are heating up, and the easiest way to get into all the action is with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. New customers, join today to get started with $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up with promo code PLAY. Don't miss out. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia, and West Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming and Kansas, or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789 in Tennessee.
Kevin Richard with you inside our studios. I want to thank all of you logged on to our Twitter account at NBA on ESPN Radio to vote in the Auto Zone in the Zone poll question. 32% of you said LeBron James would be the player to get in the zone tonight. That's a solid performance by LeBron, 31 points. He's been known to have some of those in this building. Monica McNutt, you mentioned ISO performances and ISO drives by LeBron James and ISO possessions. I take everyone back to June 7th, 2012, maybe the greatest game I ever saw LeBron play in that building. The Miami Heat have absolutely zero titles.
Not 2, not 3, not 4.
They have none, and they're down 3-2 to Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Doc Rivers and the Celtics. LeBron goes for 45 on 19 of 26 shooting. Back to you guys.
What a memory, Winter. Now, here's the thing. Let me clarify on ISO performances. I just didn't think we needed that at this particular moment in the ball game. But, baby, 60 seconds on the clock. Yes, give me ISO LeBron. I trust him to do the right thing.
Well, LeBron continues to be a large mobile vessel of basketball prowess as he takes the inbounds near midcourt. 4:35 to go. LA 96, Boston 92. It's Beverly angled right. They work it around the perimeter. To Schroeder in the near side corner. Missed on a 3. And the rebound down to Brogdon and the Celtics. Brogdon missed a layup on their last possession that could have made it a 2-point game. Horford angled left. 3-pointer. Got it! And it's 96-95.
Horford gave a ball fake to the corner to the left and then decided ultimately to take that shot because no Lakers recovered to contest. Great look by him.
And Horford, 10th in the NBA in three-point shooting. They cannot leave him open. James guarded by Grant Williams. Top of the key. Quick pass to Brown in the near side corner. He dribbles his way to the mid-post into the lane. Working against Tatum. Missed the close range try. Tatum a two-handed board. And Boston down 1 can retake the lead here with 3:45 to go.
Simply not a good decision by Troy Brown Jr.
Tatum drives left, floats it short, and a late whistle comes in. And LeBron is saying, take a look at that one because the foul goes against Anthony Davis. That's his fourth.
Darvin Ham immediately turns to his staff, questioning whether they should in fact review, and they are going to.
LeBron James walking it off the court here, stops to talk with Andy Nagy, the official, and simply says 3 words. Come on, man. So they're going to take a look at that. The foul was on Anthony Davis. Stopping the clock here, 3:41 to go. And Los Angeles leading Boston 96-95.
This is a position I do not envy. The position.
On the floor for defensive foul.
So that's coming from the crew chief there, Eric Lewis.
I do not envy that position for the officials, as Patrick Beverly would not leave the table so that the officials could make the announcement.
So we've got a big crowd waiting to hear the verdict of that. Our attendance tonight, 19,156. That's a sellout, and it's brought to you by Vivid Seats, where you earn rewards with every purchase. Vivid Seats Rewards is your ticket to more tickets. Vivid Seats, life happens live. So now we're getting a look at it on the high-definition video board. And as Tatum went up, it looked like his shoulder got stuck in Davis's left armpit, and that seems to be what impeded Tatum going up to the basket.
The issue is, and why you got such explosive reactions, we've talked about it all game. The whistle came late. The foul is probably a step before Jason Tatum goes up in the air. I don't think the whistle blew until everybody came back down.
Right, the rebound was already secured, ready to go the other way.
Yep.
So the officials now, Eric Lewis and Andy Nagy, come over to a monitor just about 10 feet off to our left. They don headsets, and they take a look at that to go talk to the replay center back at headquarters to have a look and see if it will be Davis's 4th foul. By what you saw, seems to be like a pretty safe personal.
I don't think that officials like to turn over their calls or to change the calls. Now, if it should be, then it should be, and we will soon find out. Although I'm going to have to email Monty McCutcheon and find out what's going on with these late whistles. Is this a thing?
Mr. Foreman, what say ye?
After review, successful challenge, the contact is marginal. Lakers will retrieve the basketball. Yeah.
All right.
So 3:41 to go, and it's still 96-95. Dennis Schroeder showing off some nice soccer skills down the right end of the floor. Kicking the ball from shoelaces of one to the other. 10th year out of Germany for Dennis Schroeder.
So this is where it gets tricky, though, Mike, and I don't recall, because when there's a challenge, the ball goes to the team that had the ball at the time of the challenge. I don't actually remember if the Lakers had that rebound. We're going to go with it because they have the ball right now. But I know Jaylen Brown was looking a little bit confused, and I, too, had that question.
Well, Darvin Ham called the timeout. Now the Lakers have the ball. It's James, one step inside the arc, top of the key, guarded by Jaylen Brown. 10 on the shot clock, and the Lakers lead by 1. Brown, left wing from LeBron. 3, no. Davis goes for the rebound. He's got it. And the foul is against L.A.
Aye, aye, aye.
Davis went up to grab the rebound. And the foul is this time on Davis, the loose ball foul. That now is his 4th, just moments after the replay. So a loose ball foul gives it back to the Celtics. They trail 96-95. 3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here on their home court as Boston, with the best record in the NBA, tries to snap a 3-game losing streak. Brogdon, top of the key, step back, puts it in the air. It's good. 3-pointer, Malcolm Brogdon. 20 points now for him. Boston has the lead, 98-96. Timeout, LA.
What a monster performance by Malcolm Brogdon. When this team has needed to be settled, he's been involved. That time, I know I talked about iso ball, but you gave him room. Step back 3 with confidence. Celtics take a 2-point lead.
Brogdon, his first year here with Boston after being traded from Indiana in July. Started every game he played there over 3 years. And this year playing the fewest minutes of his career, averaging 14 points a game, up to 20 here tonight. And for the Celtics, a well-rounded effort. Jason Tatum with a team-high 25, Jaylen Brown with 21, and now Brogdon with 20. It's been primarily a one-man show for the Lakers. LeBron has 31, and Anthony Davis in his second game back, 26 minutes. has 13 points. 3 minutes to go in regulation. That would put Anthony Davis at 29 minutes, right about what the plan was for Darvin Ham after Davis came back Wednesday after battling a fractured bone spur and stress reaction in his right foot.
I imagine 29 will be the number for Anthony Davis. Now, if this game should go into overtime, that will probably call for a little bit more of a conversation between Ham, Davis, and the performance staff.
Darvin Ham strolling the sidelines off to our left. His hands in the pockets of his black pants, a black pullover as well. On the other side, the 34-year-old Joe Mazzulla looks down at the ground, stoic as ever, expressionless on his face with the green pullover. And, well, believe it or not, Joe Mazzulla has called a timeout for the Celtics.
Based on his history, this could be the last one for Mazzulla for the last 3:07 of the ballgame. I got to say, it feels like there's more like 90 seconds left as opposed to 3 minutes. I mean, this has just been a very tightly contested ball games. Both coaches wanting to huddle with their group and put their best lineups and best schemes in place and make sure everybody's attentive to details. I mean, for the Celtics, they've got to trust one another and continue to put pressure at the rim. On the other hand, you know LeBron James is going to have the basketball for the Lakers, and he's going to be both a playmaker and a scorer. So the Celtics got to be attuned as much as they do offensively, defensively.
This could be a statement for the Lakers at 23 and 26, getting back to full health. They got Lonnie Walker back today. Austin Reeves still a little bit away from returning. But coming into this game, the Lakers were just 10 and 20 against teams that were 500 or better. They put themselves in position to win this game, but they're down by 2 right now after the Boston timeout. 98-96, 3:07 to go. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining, and the most significant foul trouble is for Jaylen Brown of Boston, who has 5.
The crowd here at the Garden is getting loud as the Lakers have to inbound the ball and come on 94 feet.
Hachimura from the right baseline bounces it in for Schroeder, who strides his way across midcourt right to left. Bounce feed for Davis above the right elbow. He takes one dribble, gives it off to LeBron. 3 in the air, got it, and it's LA in front, 99-98.
I'm not sure if this is still his slogan, but it is still appropriate. Witness.
Witness all 34 points, 6 of 11 from 3. Tatum holds at the left angle, the ball sitting on his right hip, guarded by Beverly, who comes close and puts 2 hands on him. Tatum dribbles back near midcourt. He's got 4 on the shot clock. Crossover against Schroeder to the free throw line. Floater off the side iron, no. Davis with a 2-handed Lakers rebound. LA by 1, 99-98. 2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining, 4th quarter here at TD Garden in Boston. It's Davis on the arc right side. One dribble, gives it to LeBron, just like the last play. He feeds to Davis in the short corner. Jumper, no. Williams the rebound for Boston.
Anthony Davis badly wanted a foul. I don't think that there was one there, thus no whistle.
They play on. Brogdon with 20. He's at the top of the key. Chest pass right, Jaylen Brown. Eyeing up Hachimura, crosses him over, gets into the lane. Off glass for a pair. Boston 100, LA 99.
Jaylen Brown just yanked Rui Hachimura's soul on that crossover to create a lane to attack to the right and a terrific finish over multiple defenders.
Foul in the paint against Grant Williams. That's his 4th. It was an entry pass from James from the top of the key to Davis in the mid-post right. And it's the 4th foul against Boston. 2 team fouls against LA here in the 4th quarter. They each have 2 timeouts remaining. Boston 100 and LA 99. Beverly from the hash near side feeds Hachimura in the near side corner. LA with the shot clock at 10. Hachimura gives it back up for Beverly, angled left. He drives to the lane, pivots, fades, shoots, and it's halfway down and out. Davis the rebound, going back up, he's fouled. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Malcolm Brogdon thinks he slapped down on that basketball cleanly as Anthony Davis was going for the second chance point. And he's getting the signal, or Coach Mazzulla is getting the signal from the staff on the bench to challenge.
That was immediate as Brogdon came over, giving the index finger circling in the ear motion to say, hey, we want to take a look at that. Mazzulla calls the timeout. That's the mechanism by which coaches initiate that challenge. So he'll use that here.
Celtics is challenging the rule on the floor of a defensive foul.
And now members of both benches, the Lakers to our left and the Celtics to our right, stand with necks craned looking at the video board that hangs above center court to see just how this might play out. Boston leads 199 with 129 to go.
The replay they're showing in arena, okay, there it is. Anthony Davis got an offensive rebound under the basket. Malcolm Brogdon is on his right side and slaps down with his right arm. Of course, the Celtics maintaining that was all ball, and Brogdon reacted immediately after the play for the challenge signal.
Oh, yeah, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you're right.
Even if it wasn't a clean block?
I really think about, like, the gravitas of if you know you're wrong. Because sometimes the guys want the challenge, and I'm like, ain't no way you want to challenge them. You got to be kidding me.
You don't want to be the little guard who cried wolf?
Come on now, you don't get the challenge back, but I guess...
After review, successful challenge, jump ball, single circle.
So Eric Lewis, the crew chief, comes away, both thumbs in the air to signify jump ball, and it's still 199 Celtics.
It's really interesting, Mike, because as I understand the rule, if the Celtics have played through and got the basketball, it would be their ball. But I think because the ball just bounced out of bounds on the whistle, it's a jump ball, versus the earlier review we saw, the Lakers had gotten the rebound, and so it was the Lakers' ball.
And secured possession.
Right, so essentially you want to play through whatever you think may be challenged and secure possession.
And the tip won by Horford. It's down to Brogdon, who comes across midcourt left to right. Waist-high dribble with the right hand. Hachimura guarding him at the three-point line. A one-handed feed off to his right. He gives it up. Grant Williams hands it off Jaylen Brown. Angle right. 7 to shoot. Guarded by James. Brown down the left side of the lane. Fades. Puts it up. No good. Hachimura secures for LA. 1:03 to play. Boston 100. Los Angeles 99.
There was a high level of difficulty on that shot by Jaylen Brown.
James with 34 tonight. He gets double teamed straight away. Floats right. Beverly with a 3 in the air. It is good. Patrick Beverly for 3. Lakers 102, Boston 100.
Never mind the percentages, Patrick Beverly says. Today is my day from behind the three-point line.
Brogdon floater as he runs down the left side of the lane, fouled by Hachimura. Basket was no good. It stops the clock with 41.7 seconds remaining. And Brogdon at the free throw line can tie the game here. Lakers 102-100 out in front.
Patrick Beverly is 4 of 7 from 3. The only shots he's hit has been those 4 threes.
Sometimes it's just your day. And it certainly has been for Beverly. First free throw, Brogdon got it. Late game free throws in overtime were not friendly to Boston against the Knicks on Thursday. That was with Jaylen Brown at the line, 0 for 2. Brogdon gets the first and the second, and we are tied 102 with 41.7 to go. And James brings it up the floor right to left for the Lakers. A left-hand dribble. He passes to Schroeder at the left angle. Davis comes up to set a screen. Schroeder goes away from it left. He's in the short corner, in trouble. Passes right angle. Beverly, he puts it on the ground. Schroeder, top of the key. In the lane to Davis in the corner. 3 up. Off the rim, no. And a follow slam. Oh, what a finish. Patrick Beverly. He puts it home with 18.6 to go. LA 104 and Boston 102. Timeout, Boston.
Beverly muscles his way over to the scores table, talking to the crowd in TD Garden. Words I cannot repeat, but let's just say that he is enthused as the Lakers take a 2-point lead with 18.6 to go.
LA 104, Boston 102, 18.6 remaining. We now pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed. Here at TD Garden in Boston, Mike Cousins and Monica McNutt along with you. The final moments between the Lakers and the Celtics. LA 104, Boston 102. It'll be Celtics ball with 18.6 seconds to go. The Celtics have one timeout left. The Lakers have two. A monster night for LeBron James. 34 points, shooting 50% from the floor and just above 50% from three. Leading scorer for Boston is, as it has been this year, Jason Tatum with 25. Jaylen Brown just behind him with 23. So out of the timeout, after the made basket by Beverly, gets the ball into the front court for the Celtics. They work to the basket to our right. Tatum just 1 of 7 here in the fourth quarter. Let's see if they call his number here, down by 2. 3-game losing streak for the Celtics. They've not lost 4 in a row this year. In for Brown. He puts up a 3. Off the rim to the right, no good. And the rebound by Beverly, who is immediately fouled by Grant Williams. That stops the clock with 14.8 to play, so just 3 seconds elapsed there. And the 15th foul against Boston sends Beverly to the line at the left end to shoot 2 and try and make it a 2-possession game. Well, who saw this coming for Patrick Beverly tonight, averaging 6 points on the year, and Beverly is up to 14.
Yeah, he's just had a tremendous game. The threes that he's hit have been in rhythm. They've been big. And, of course, that put-back dunk. Here's the thing with this Lakers squad. We talked about the standings. We understand their record. But you've got a plethora of veterans who have played deep into the season, although missing a key free throw like Patrick Beverly just did on that first is not veteran-like behavior.
Still 104-102. The Celtics have one timeout, and the Lakers have 2. Joe Mazzulla stands at midcourt, clipboard in hand. Beverly hits the free throw. LA by 3, 105-102. Across midcourt, it's Brogdon. They're not going to take the timeout. He gives left for Tatum. Into the far corner. A 3 in the air. Off the side of the backboard. No. Brown goes up. The layup is good. 4.1 to go. 105-104. And they give a foul as well on the play, which will give Jaylen Brown a chance to tie the game.
I was concerned, my cousins. And the Lakers, some of the Lakers players are signaling for a challenge. They do not have another. I was concerned because Al Horford took a 3 from the corner that hit the side of the backboard. But Jaylen Brown, wanting to bounce back from his subpar by his own standards performance versus the Knicks on Thursday, remained active, attacked the glass, gets the putback to fall, and earns a trip to the free throw line. Now, note, Thursday, he also missed 2 important free throws. This one is big.
That was in a 3-point loss against the Knicks. And he's at the line here. Down by 1, 4 seconds to go. And now the officials converge for a quick conversation as Brown steps to the line off to the right. He takes 2 dribbles, bends his knees, flexes the right arm, and the free throw is good. We are tied at 105. Timeout LA as Darvin Ham will look to draw up a game-winning play with 4.1 seconds remaining.
What a game. This one has absolutely lived up to the rivalry week title. Lakers will be inbounding the ball. Or no, I'm sorry. The pros do not advance.
Well, there was so much coming into this game about these teams having the most NBA championships in the history of the league, the number of times they've met in the finals. Darvin Ham talked about growing up in Michigan and watching these Celtics teams going up against the Pistons he was rooting for. And while that postseason history is a little bit more distant than it relates to some of these players, the energy in this building, the fact that they have signs, of course, that say BLA, it's a common refrain among the Celtics fan base. And you consider the disparity of age between the top players in this game. LeBron James at 38. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were in elementary school when James broke into the league 20 years ago. And now it's Lakers ball out of the timeout. 4.1 seconds to go. 105 all. Boston led by as many as 9 in the first half. The Lakers' biggest lead was 11. And LeBron tonight with 34. Will he be called upon to take the final shot?
I misspoke. Men's college basketball does not advance. Lakers will advance and inbound in front of their bench.
Schroeder will inbound at the hash left, guarded by Grant Williams. A bounce in for LeBron. 2 dribbles to the basket, puts it up, left it short. Time expires. No foul on the play, and we're headed to overtime. And LeBron is furious that he did not get the foul call. Down on his knees in the paint, off to the left side, and the Lakers staff is out on the court. Patrick Beverly is arguing with the officials that there should have been a foul, and there was not. Half the Lakers bench is out on the floor. The officials are waving Schroeder off, who comes over for a word, as they get ready with 5 minutes on the clock to go to overtime.
Paul Pierce is in attendance for the Celtics to the left of the scores table, and he is giddy as he picks up the game ball and just rubs his hands on it. The Lakers are distraught.
After that missed basket by James, which was a good look as he drove the left side of the lane, he dropped down to 1 knee in the paint and then eventually 2, almost as if the disbelief had sapped him of the ability to remain upright. And now Patrick Beverly has brought a camera out onto the court to show the official the last play, and he just got called for a technical foul. What is he doing?
Wow.
He brought a professional camera out onto the court from some photographer over by the Lakers bench to show a freeze frame to Eric Lewis, the crew chief, and of course it's going to be a technical foul. That is a boneheaded play.
Is that how this game is going to end, or will those free technicals be shot at the beginning of the overtime period?
We're listening to the official come over. It sounds like the technical fouls will be shot preceding the start of overtime. So the game wouldn't end because of that foul. It was after the end of regulation.
Has been assessed to Los Angeles' number 21, Patrick Beverly.
That is not smart as we talk about the veterans that this squad has. It is unnecessary.
I mean, it is objectively a funny thing to see, and it will end up as a meme on social media if you're not involved in the outcome of this game.
Funny to us. And nobody in a Lakers uniform should be laughing at that. I will say, as I sit next to the league statisticians and had a chance to see the replay, Jason Tatum does very clearly slap LeBron James on the arm on that play.
We go to overtime, and this overtime period is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. So the technical foul assessed to Patrick Beverly, who sits leaning against the scorer's table to our left, his hands on his hips, and Jason Tatum to the free throw line off to the right to shoot the technical free throw. You know that's going to be a meme tomorrow.
Oh, 100%, as it should be. But even as I have no rooting interest in either of these teams, I am shocked that he had the gall to do that. And it's very fortunate. Perhaps he's better than me in understanding that regulation was over, but you've given up points in a very close ball game.
So we start overtime in the odd position of 106-105 Boston. And they jump in at center circle. It's volleyballed around and finally comes down to Tatum. He feeds Horford driving the lane and a lob for Jaylen Brown. He's fouled. He comes up short of the basket. He got undercut by Troy Brown, who picks up his second foul. And it sends Jaylen Brown to the line just 8 seconds into overtime.
Now, what's going to happen in this period is temperance is not the word that I want. Emotions are running high, and so there's probably going to be some additional physicality in this ballgame as Patrick Beverly is still having a conversation with an official. Jaylen Brown misses that first free throw. The Lakers are going to need to check their emotions in terms of finishing out this overtime period. Don't allow your emotions to be the sixth defender on the floor.
Brown second free throw. Good. 107-105 Boston. The best course of action is introversion here in overtime as it comes to emotions, but not in outbursts of stellar play. Working around the arc, it's James guarded by Brogdon. LeBron drives the lane, righty scoop is good, and he looks over to the bench thinking, hey, where was the foul? I got a lot of contact again. 107 all, 25 seconds into overtime. Brogdon, 22 points, third leading scorer for Boston tonight. Jaylen Brown into the lane, pull-up, jumper. He got it and one. Just above the restricted arc, Jaylen Brown got hit on the bicep. 27 points for Jaylen Brown. He's the Celtics' leading scorer and has a chance to make it 3.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, Mike, that was very, very light as a call. But credit Jaylen Brown. He's having a much better game and indeed bouncing back from his performance on Thursday.
He gets all 3. 110-107, Boston leads LA. Schroeder and the Lakers in yellow, working the front court left, guarded by the Celtics in a deep green. James, a 3. Missed it. Brown, the rebound. Joe Mazzulla raises his right hand. Brown pulls up for 3. It's good! Jaylen Brown puts the Celtics up by 6. 53 seconds into overtime. Timeout, Los Angeles.
What an overtime period for Jaylen Brown. Cool, calm, and collected, forcing the overtime, and then comes out guns blazing in the overtime. He missed that first free throw, but never mind. He's been terrific in the extra period.
His head coach, Joe Mazzulla, who's only 8 years older than Jaylen Brown is, had a simple message for him after he missed the late free throws in their overtime loss against the Knicks on Thursday. He said, I love you. I believe in you. And Jaylen Brown clearly feeling that today. 13th leading scorer in the league. Tonight, up to 33. And when he and Tatum have gone off together in games, that has usually signaled success for the Celtics. With the timeout, let's go back to the studio for an update with Kevin Winter.
All right, guys. If you recall off the top, didn't I say we could only hope we could have a game like the Celtics and Lakers played on that Thursday night at Staples Center? What was it, about a month and a half ago? Around the league tonight, Dallas without Luka Doncic is in Utah, and the Jazz lead 107-98. They've gone to the half. Toronto is just housing Portland 63-44. Earlier today, Philadelphia got 47-18 from Joel Embiid. They have now won 7 consecutive games. Brooklyn 32 from Kyrie, 20 in the fourth. They beat the Knicks. Monica and Mike, this out of the last 7 games on ESPN Radio, this is the 4th to go to overtime, and I can't wait for everyone to see the camera that Patrick Beverley brings on the court because ABC's about to show it. Man, that's a big you-know-what camera.
Yeah, and it probably, we were talking about the price of the sneakers Jaylen Brown was wearing earlier. The camera probably is double or triple the cost of that. Well, the Celtics are in their 7th overtime game of the year, tied for the most by any team this season. And out of the timeout, they lead 113-107 on the inbounds. Brown lets it roll. They call that walking the dog near midcourt. And James has it in the front court left. LeBron, huge night. He's got 36. He floats it to Davis right of the lane, and he feeds into the paint for Westbrook. It's taken away by Grant Williams. 3:50 in overtime. Brown speeds ahead to the far corner, and now chest passes back near midcourt for Brogdon, who's been excellent at the point tonight with Marcus Smart out for a 4th straight game. Tatum drives from the right angle, and he's called for an offensive foul. He was floating, looking to pass it back to the wing to Jaylen Brown, and extended the arm to push off. That's personal foul number 3 on Tatum.
None other than LeBron James waiting at the edge of the paint. He was clearly in position, so that was an easy call going against Jason Tatum,
A general rule, LeBron goes through you. You do not go through LeBron, which he's got the advantage at 250 pounds. Right wing, it's Westbrook. Not going to shoot that. Back up top for James. 8 on the timer. Lakers down by 6 here in overtime. James, a left-handed dribble, lowers the shoulder, goes up with the left, missed it, and the tip is good for Westbrook, and 1. Westbrook came from the right wing, soared in, tipped it up with one hand and in. And if he makes the free throw, it'll be a 3-point game.
Man, the level of athleticism and acrobatics, I might add, on some of these finishes we've got in this ball game. Russell Westbrook flies in from the baseline, sort of sneaks his body behind, Grant Williams and is able to get his hand on that ball and that ball up and into the rim. Impressive.
We also bore witness to, in his 11th year in the NBA, Patrick Beverley's first putback dunk of his career. So the foul on Grant Williams, that's number 5. And Westbrook at the line. The free throw is up. Off the back rim, no good. Rebounded Jaylen Brown. So it stays Boston 113, LA 109 with 3:05 to go in overtime here at TD Garden in Boston. Brogdon screens to his left and right. He waits it out, doesn't take either one, drives left of the lane, puts it off glass and in.
Another difficult shot. Patrick Beverley was defending Malcolm Brogdon to a T. He kept him just on the edge of the paint, and Brogdon still gets that shot to go.
And James with the answer at the other end, drives the left alley, scores off glass, and gets fouled in the process, going to the line. 38 now for LeBron, 115-111 Boston.
The Lakers have a back-to-back coming up in New York on Monday and Tuesday.
Monday at Brooklyn, Tuesday at the Garden.
Oh man. Hope they get into all the ice baths and cryo tanks, because this one is taking a lot.
James at the free throw line, up to 38 points. His team down by 4 as he eyes the rim left side. Free throw is good. 115-112, Boston over LA, 2:47 in the extra session. Brogdon brings it across the timeline, left to right for the Celtics in green, the Lakers in yellow. One-handed bounce pass to his right, Brown to Tatum, cutting in the lane, and he lays it off the window. 2 more for Jason Tatum, who's got 26, 28 now. 117-112. James driving, whips it to the corner, pass intercepted by Brogdon, and he saves it back in for Horford. The 16th-year veteran sends it across midcourt, gives it to the 24-year-old Jason Tatum, backing down Schroeder at the high right wing. 9 on the shot clock. Tatum with a waist-high left-handed dribble, still outside the arc, working on Westbrook. Crossed him over off of Westbrook's shoe. Davis takes it away. Westbrook goes right to left to the bucket. Hard foul by Brogdon as Westbrook hits the deck and stops the clock with 1:57 to go. 4th foul on Brogdon.
Brogdon also hit the ground, and he heads over immediately to Russell Westbrook, who's holding his head, neck area at the feet of those Celtics fans sitting baseline. Nothing malicious there, just a bang-bang play, as it's called. Hope everyone's all right.
But this will draw a video review for the officials to see if it rises to the level of a flagrant foul, especially if there was contact above the shoulders.
Well, as they review that, I think it's important to point out,
Reviewing for a possible flagrant foul.
I would be surprised if this is called flagrant. I don't think that it warrants that. Malcolm Brogdon made a play on the basketball. Both guys go down.
Sometimes there are just fouls where both guys hit the deck hard. It doesn't mean that there was hard contact, but given the speed at which they were going, trying to decelerate in short order is not always feasible. So 1:57 left in overtime as this gets looked at on the monitor to our left of the scorer's table. Westbrook is back to his feet, standing over by the Lakers huddle. He gives a thumbs up. And over to our right, the Celtics huddle. Marcus Smart out today with a red varsity jacket on, a white button-down shirt, green hair. He looks up at the video board to take a look, although they have not shown any replays in the arena of this particular play in question to see if it'll be a flagrant foul or a common foul against Malcolm Brogdon. But a decision has been made as the trio of officials converges to discuss and reset things. We'll get the call.
After review, the contact has been ruled as flagrant foul, unnecessary contact to a vulnerable player with a potential for injury.
I'm surprised at that.
Well, we didn't get a second look at it, so
yeah.
The officials do rule it a flagrant against Malcolm Brogdon. 117-112, Boston in front of Los Angeles. 1:57 left here in overtime. Westbrook goes to the free throw line at the left end. 66% free throw shooter.
Russell Westbrook is at the line, shooting 2.
Westbrook today, 10 points, 4 of 12 shooting, and 2 for 3 at the free throw line. He stands alone at the left end, bends his knees, flicks his right wrist, and the free throw is good to make it Boston 117 and Los Angeles 113. And Westbrook, in his 15th year out of UCLA, his sneakers, blue, orange, and white, colors of his alma mater, and the second free throw falls as well for Westbrook. Well, out of that stoppage, the Celtics took the opportunity to get a little bit bigger in their lineup. 7'2" Luke Cornett is into the game here with 1:57 to go. He guards Westbrook for the moment. That's a mismatch. As James drives, gives to Westbrook in the corner, wide open. His three, too strong, but he got the look he wanted. Rebound to Boston.
If I'm Celtics, I'm continuing to lean on Jaylen Brown. He scored or assisted on 19 of the 32 Celtics points in the fourth quarter and in overtime.
He's got 33 to lead Boston. Feeds Horford in the post right. He gets it out for Tatum left wing. Over to Cornett in the near corner. Dribble handoff Brown. He airballs a three-point try. Beverly gives to James. 5-on-4 for the moment for the Lakers, who are down by 3. Under the basket, Westbrook floats it out, gets it back in the far corner. He won't take that three. He drives baseline, reverse layup, blocked by the rim. He put it up short the last 2 possessions. Missed shots by Russell Westbrook. Boston takes a timeout with 1:08 to go, and the Celtics with a 3-point lead.
I think the officials are going to review where the clock stopped. I believe it should have been 1:11 on the clock when Joe Mazzulla called that timeout.
They're resetting the shot clock as well. Game clock, you were right on it, goes to 1:11, and the shot clock to 22 seconds.
What a game we got, partner.
It's been a huge night, part of our doubleheader today here on ESPN Radio. You heard Mark Kessler and PJ Carlissimo with Knicks and Nets earlier today, and a great finish, taking us almost to the brink of a new day here in Boston. Tipped off a little bit after 8:30. It's the Celtics, the best record in the NBA, 35-15, trying to snap a 3-game losing streak and sweep the regular season series 2-0 against the Lakers, who were winners of 3 of their last 4, 23-26. Second game back for Anthony Davis today. He's been exceptional. Davis, 13 points, 10 rebounds. In truncated minutes as they work him back into the rotation. They did get Lonnie Walker back today as well. It's his first game since December 28th. And Walker this evening, 13 points in 18 minutes.
Both of those gentlemen have looked really good in their return to play. Anthony Davis in particular, and he's a guy, we know his history of injuries, but when he is right, he is just such a force to be reckoned with, and we've seen that on display today.
Out of the timeout, Boston has the ball. Attacking to the basket right. Up 117-114 and 1 minute to play. It's Jaylen Brown between the circles. 8 on the shot clock. Right-handed dribble behind the back to his left. He's stymied on the outside by Schroeder. Left of the elbow, pull-up jumper, rattles it through. Jaylen Brown with 35 points, and the Celtics lead by 5.
That is a display of growth in Jalen Brunson's game. Nearly lost the handle there, but able to get it back under control and hits a big-time basket.
James, angled right, drives on Jaylen Brown, gets contact at the rim and scores right through Horford. Layup for LeBron, makes it 119-116 Celtics.
LeBron James is simply incredible.
41 for LeBron. Jaylen Brown driving to the basket, and he's fouled by Westbrook on the drive. Layup was no good. Westbrook, his 3rd foul, stops the clock with 33.1 seconds to go. They say Brown had already gathered in his shooting motion, and so he shoots 2 free throws. It's offense-defense substitutions now for Joe Mazzulla, the head coach for the Celtics. Luke Cornett comes to the scorer's table ready to check in. Brown's first free throw is good. Celtics lead by 4. And Derek White off the floor. Cornett in as they gain 10 inches in height defensively there with Cornett. Who, although he got matched up on Westbrook on the last time, or 2 possessions ago, it was still a missed shot.
Clearly, Cornett is just there to contest when LeBron or whoever it may be charges to the rim.
Brown, second free throw is good. Jaylen Brown, 37 points tonight. Boston 121, Los Angeles 116, 30 seconds remain. Schroeder at the right angle, drives past Cornette, his lay-in easy for a pair, 121-118, each team with one timeout left. Horford runs the baseline, swings it in for Brown, full court pressure from the Lakers. Brogdon breaks it, feeds ahead for Tatum, who holds inside the arc. 15 seconds remaining. Cross-court pass Horford. Near midcourt, it's Brogdon, and Westbrook comes over to give a hard foul. And it stops the clock with 11.8 seconds to go, and Brogdon going to the free throw line on Westbrook's foul.
Brogdon is a terrific free throw shooter, so not exactly the guy you would have looked for, but the clock became the enemy for the Lakers.
88% of the line for Brogdon, the former Rookie of the Year when he started his career with Milwaukee. First free throw, swish. 122-118. Boston trying to put away their second three-game losing streak of the year and get to 36-15. Slight bend in the knees, and Brogdon pushes the second free throw through. 123-118. Short time for the Lakers. Down by 5. Here comes LeBron across midcourt, right to left. He gives it up. Beverly. Now Davis, angled right, launches a three and hits with 1.1 to go. It's 123-121. And on the inbounds with 0.6 seconds to go, the Lakers foul Jason Tatum.
What an incredible ball game we were treated to today. Patrick Beverly is following an official saying that the clock should be at 1 second. But if Tatum, well, if he hits both of these, it's still technically a one-possession ball game.
Los Angeles fouls on number 21, Patrick Beverly. That's his fourth.
For what it's worth, the foul there on Beverly, his fourth. One timeout left, both sides. 123-121 Boston. Tatum with 28, make it 29.
Oh, I can't do math. Forgive me. If he hits both, it'll be a 4-point game. I thought it would be. I was looking at the wrong thing.
It would be a very lucky one possession and a very poorly defended
one.
Man,
I'm all wrong.
124-121, and now 125.
25 minus 21 is indeed 4 points. Well, with 0.6 to go, that's a catch and shoot. And even if you catch and shoot and hit a three, that'll be a point short.
Timeout taken by LA here. You're right. What an absolute treat this was tonight. Here we are, late January. You can feel like as a player, you might be in the dog days of the season, looking forward to the All-Star break with a 5-day gap and the playoffs not far after that. But even with a loss tonight, the Lakers will be 23-27. And granted all the shuffling in the standings, they came in 2.5 games away from 6th place. Yes, will they come away disappointed that they didn't win this game? Sure, but this was a game that they had in their hands in the second half. Let it get away a little bit as they get back to full strength with Davis back, Walker back, and Austin Reeves, his return around the corner.
Yeah, and the Lakers are in quite the East Coast road trip. As you mentioned, the Grammys have invaded on their home arena. So to me, it's going to be about recovering and getting ready for the back-to-back that's waiting for them on Monday and Tuesday in New York.
On the bright side, I guess, it's not a far commute. Stay in the same hotel.
There you go.
From the Barclays to the Garden. So 0.6 of a second to go. The Celtics should just walk away. Don't even attempt to defend this. As the Lakers will inbound. They get it to Davis, top of the key. He puts up a three. No good. And the game is over here in Boston. The final score in overtime. The Celtics 125 and the Lakers 121.
A terrific showing from both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown in particular going 13 of 23 for 37 points, 9 rebounds tonight, 9 of 11 from the free throw line. He took it so hard and so personal, coming up short in the loss on Thursday versus the Knicks. Tonight, he bounces back in fine fashion.
And interestingly enough, neither team really ever recovered at the three-point line in this game. Boston was the better squad at 32.5%. They were 13 of 40. LA just 28% from the three-point line. Leading scorer in this game, not surprisingly, LeBron James, 41 points in 44 minutes. He shot 50% from the floor overall, 6 of 12 from three-point range as well. And the leading scorers for Boston, Jaylen Brown with his late surge, 37 points. Jason Tatum with 30, and Malcolm Brogdon with 26. How about this for the Celtics? When Brogdon scores 20 or more, the Celtics are now 9-1 this year. Jason Tatum putting the headset on as he joins us here courtside. Jason finishes with 30 points. Well, Jason, 2 times you played the Lakers this year, 2 times you go to overtime. What was overtime like in this game?
2 rugged games, especially this one. A lot of turnovers. My bad. A lot of turnovers. But we found a way to figure it out. And, those are some of the most rewarding wins, especially, we done lost 3 in a row. So we needed this one bad.
All right, so you avoid 4 in a row because that would have been the first time this season. Thursday night was tough, in particular for Jaylen Brown, who talked about those free throws. What allowed you guys to bounce back in such a strong way tonight?
I think just the nature of the NBA. We play so many games, right? If you have a good game, you can't get too high. If you have a bad game, you can't get too low. We play every other day. So it's just next game mentality. And we got the utmost trust in him that he was going to have a big game tonight. There's no doubt about that.
Can you evaluate in Marcus's absence how Malcolm has kind of steadied the ship for you there offensively?
Yeah, that's a big reason why we got him, just to add some depth to our team. So we can just be that much more dynamic. Because this is a long season, right? Guys going to be in and out of the lineup. So you need guys to step up. And he sacrifices. He can start on any team, and he's coming off the bench for us. For a bigger reason, and we desperately need that.
One of the best records in the league. I got to look at my stats to just double check where y'all are. How much fun has this season been?
Man, when you're winning, time flies, and you have fun doing it. So hopefully we can continue this one game at a time and, keep winning, keep having fun.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
That's Jason Tatum, who led Boston 30 points tonight, and certainly life is good when you're winning. They've got the NBA's best record, 36-15. Our final score in overtime, Boston 125 and LA 121. For Monica McNutt, my partner, our producer Mike Martino, and our engineer Doug Lane, I'm Mike Cousins saying so long from TD Garden in Boston. Now let's send it back to Kevin Winter in the studio with the postgame show.
All right, Cousins, McNutt, you're invited to do another one. That was fun. The NBA on ESPN Radio has been brought to you by and presented by Indeed. Looking for quality candidates this new year? Look no further than Indeed. Their new video interview tool takes the hassle out of virtual hiring. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Up next on the NBA Tonight postgame show, how Boston and the Lakers went to overtime. Spoiler alert, they should not have. How Patrick Beverley got the technical of all technicals that should go in the Hall of Fame and be minted forever. And then how Jaylen Brown went nuts in OT. That's next. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app.
The football playoffs are here, and nothing beats seeing your favorite team live. Not only does Vivid Seats have great NFL ticket prices, they're also the official ticketing partner of ESPN. And with Vivid Seats rewards, when you buy 10 tickets, you get the 11th free. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Life happens live. Receive a reward credit equal to the average price of the 10 tickets purchased, excluding taxes, fees, and processing costs. See vividseats.com/rewards for terms and conditions.
Gifting him Tommy John underwear for Valentine's Day? I don't know. Isn't that weird?
What's weird is you're a grown woman that's scared to gift underwear. Come on, it's a bold move. And everyone loves getting Tommy John because in Tommy John, you can do everything better. They even have Valentine's Day limited editions.
I don't know if we're ready for that.
Yes, you are. You're a Tommy John woman, right? And the Tommy John woman is self-assured and confident because she's free from adjustment. The lightness, the breathability. You know how amazing you feel in Tommy John underwear?
I mean, I do look good in them too. Maybe I can bring them up to my level.
The contour pouch on their men's underwear puts the fine in definition.
Does Tommy John still have their risk-free best pair guarantee?
Absolutely. If he doesn't love them, they'll make it right.
Shop TommyJohn.com/stream and get 20% off your first purchase. 20% off at TommyJohn.com/stream. See site for details.
The NFL playoffs are heating up, and the easiest way to get into all the action is with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. New customers, join today to get started with $150 in bonus bets, guaranteed. when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up with promo code PLAY. Don't miss out. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia, and West Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming and Kansas or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789 in Tennessee.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Across midcourt, it's Brogdon. They're not going to take the timeout. He gives left for Tatum into the far corner. A three in the air, off the side of the backboard. No, Brown goes up. The layup is good. 4.1 to go. 105-104. And they give a foul as well on the play, which will give Jaylen Brown a chance to tie the game.
All right, let's be honest. No matter what side of the fence you fall on, that was not the Stripes' best game. That was a foul. Patrick Beverley got and hit Jaylen Brown in the head. So was this, by the way.
Schroeder will inbound at the hash left, guarded by Grant Williams. A bounce in for LeBron. 2 dribbles to the basket, puts it up, left it short. Time expires. No foul on the play, and we're headed to overtime. And LeBron is furious that he did not get the foul call.
You guys remember the look that LeBron James gave J.R. Smith back in that one NBA Finals game where he sticks his 2 hands out when J.R. Smith is under the basket with a chance to beat the Warriors, right? You remember that look? LeBron was even more ticked off tonight. Now, you want to know why he was ticked? You hear that? Jason Tatum hacked him. So what happens during the timeout is when we're in overtime? Patrick Beverley gets the technical of all technicals to go into the Hall of Fame. Guys, wait till you see it on SportsCenter.
And now Patrick Beverley has brought a camera out onto the court to show the official the last play, and he just got called for a technical foul. What is he doing? Wow. He brought a professional camera out onto the court from some photographer over by the Lakers bench to show a freeze frame to Eric Lewis, the crew chief, and of course it's going to be a technical foul. That is a boneheaded play.
It's our game flow brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save nearly $700 on average. Call or click today. Find out if they can save you hundreds on your car insurance. In the extra session,
Joe Mazzulla raises his right hand. Brown pulls up for 3. It's good! Jaylen Brown puts the Celtics up by 6. 53 seconds into overtime. Timeout, Los Angeles. Jaylen Brown between the circles. 8 on the shot clock. Right-handed dribble behind the back to his left. He's stymied on the outside by Schroeder. Left of the elbow, pull-up jumper, rattles it through. Jaylen Brown with 35 points, and the Celtics lead by 5.
That's one, and pick whichever one you want as they're getting it done. Play the game brought to you by Grainger with supplies and solutions for every industry. Grainger is always here to help. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. In the end, it's the Celtics with a 125-121 victory over the Lakers. 37 for Jaylen Brown, 30 for Jason Tatum. The next time we are with you with the NBA on ESPN Radio, it will be on Thursday when we have coverage of the Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Coverage that night begins at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Until then, game night is next, and don't forget, enjoy your championship Sunday all across ESPN Radio. Celtics win in overtime over the Lakers, 122-121. 125-121. Good night, everybody.
You can't ask for more than we're getting for Conference Championship Weekend. You got Brock Purdy against Jalen Hurts in the early game, legacies at stake, and then the main event, Patrick Mahomes against Joe Burrow, will be the place to talk about it. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
What if I told you in Iran,
women are banned from going to soccer games.
Mom, take the ball.
For 43 years, Iranian women have fought back. Police pushed us.
Troops.
This is their story.
The joy was forbidden. What is the meaning of that? That is how they control you.
I'm Shimol Yai. Listen to the new 30 for 30 podcast, Pink Card. Available now.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Yeah, I'm thinking about for Valentine's Day with the wife, thinking like some chocolates, some flowers, maybe do like a nice dinner, something like that. Answer your question before.
What's Valentine's Day?
You want to go?
One of those.
What a made-up holiday.
So that you don't do anything. You do nothing for Valentine's Day.
What are they going to do now? It's Ground Day.
GJ and Max, followed by Greeny. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
And then I wonder, okay, well, if you bring in Brady, is some team willing to give you a bunch of picks to get Brock Purdy? Or do people think that he's just a product of this system? The quarterback situation in San Francisco, that could actually really end up being the factor that drives the market on the rest of these QBs, because it's where Brady could end up. It obviously isn't where Aaron Rodgers is going to go, but it's going to dictate the Garoppolo situation. Fascinated to see how all of that ends up coming down. Game night on ESPN Radio, ESPN app, SiriusXM channel 80. How much do you trust Purdy? Like, if you're San Fran and you fall behind 14-0, how do you feel about just saying, okay, we need to throw the ball? Let's go, kid. You know, you're not just trying to play mistake-free football anymore. It's on your shoulders, Mr. Irrelevant. Let's see it.
Yeah, you don't trust him at all. When you have to turn it into a game where it's just about throwing it and you do not have the possible threat of running the football, I anticipate that you're not going to trust them at all. San Francisco, look how they run their offense.
Yeah.
They'll max protect. They'll only send 2 people out there as options and say, we're going to push the ball down the field, and we have the quarterback that's elusive enough to buy time in order to push the ball down the field and get a good throw off. We've seen it. We saw it a couple weeks ago when he did the whirly bird in the backfield and then try to hit Brandon Ayuk, and Brandon Ayuk dropped it.
Yeah.
But if it comes into a situation where you're down 14 and it's just a throw fest, we might see San Francisco go to a Josh Johnson in a situation like that because of how young Purdy is.
Yeah.
Especially when you're playing against the Philadelphia Eagles, they could generate pressure with only 4 rushing.
And that's where Garoppolo's health at some point for San Francisco could re-enter the conversation, right? Because there's some conversation that if they win on Sunday and they end up going to the Super Bowl 2 weeks from now, that Garoppolo could be healthy enough to serve as the backup or an emergency guy that could come into the game if they get to that point. 3:00 Eastern is the NFC Championship with San Francisco going to Philadelphia. At 6:30, the Cincinnati Bengals go to what they're calling Burrowhead Stadium in Kansas City for the AFC Championship game. Up next, could the winner of the AFC decide who is better between Burrow and Mahomes? We discussed, plus, when LeBron goes live to the podium, we're going to try to take you there. One of the worst calls of the NBA season was made tonight by this officiating crew, and LeBron might be leaning towards getting fined. This is Game Night on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Matt.
Wayne in Philly.
First of all, good morning, guys. How y'all doing this morning?
Wayne, where are you? Where are you calling from? What are you doing?
Where are you at?
I'm at work right now, and yes, I am in the bathroom.
It all starts weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
It's playoff time. If we want to keep our season alive, we got to win today.
The NFL playoffs.
I've always played with my emotions, my heart on my sleeve, and I just want to win so badly.
The San Francisco 49ers haven't played this guy yet.
Hurts keeps fighting for the end zone. What a run.
Continuing in-depth coverage.
You have to contain him, but you storm the pocket and you try to put physical hits on the quarterback.
It all begins each morning at 6 Eastern with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, and continues all day on ESPN Radio.
A 29-year-old Adolph Rupp learns the game straight from Naismith, ships off to Lexington,
and builds a Big Blue dynasty. Decades of dominance that put Kentucky at the heart of hoops country.
The national champion Kentucky Wildcats.
But this is a man as complicated as the nation that made him. A man who would soon feel the tide of change on the highest court of all. ESPN Films presents Southern Hoops, a history of SEC basketball. Premieres Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern on SEC Network.
You can't ask for more than we're getting for conference championship weekend. You got Brock Purdy against Jalen Hurts in the early game, legacies at stake, and then the main event, Patrick Mahomes against Joe Burrow, will be the place to talk about it. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Exclusively on ESPN Plus, UFC 284, Saturday, February 11th.
Two reigning UFC champions collide in a true super fight.
Lightweight champion Islam Makhachev puts his title on the line against featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski. Plus an interim featherweight championship fight between Yair Rodriguez and Josh Emmett.
This is MMA at the highest level.
UFC 284, Saturday, February 11th at 10 p.m. Eastern. Fight on ESPNplus.com/PPV.
Which teams are making moves and which teams need to just flat out move? Your Saturday means I'm locked in and ready for First Take right here, Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Hockey's best hit the beach for the 2023 NHL All-Star Weekend.
If you are what you say you are, the superstar.
League superstars face off in the skills competitions. Then fan favorites compete in the All-Star Game. The NHL All-Star Skills Competition, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Plus. And the NHL All-Star Game presented by Honda, Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC and ESPN Plus.
Coming up Monday, we'll recap everything from Championship Sunday. Plus, I'll tell you why one record that's about to be broken will never be reached again. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Monday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, E2, and ESPNU.
We want L.
I said it's great to be Georgia. Let's go, you guys. Let's go, Paul. 2 in a row.
Paul Feinbaum. Weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and the SEC Network.
Patrick Mahomes, best player. He's the most talented player in the NFL, and he's the most dynamic weapon. Joe Burrow fascinates me because all the things that you want to teach, he does better than everybody else.
Well, here's hoping that officials don't have a huge say in who decides who's going to the Super Bowl on Sunday. Boy, they had a say in who won a basketball game on ABC tonight in Boston between the Lakers and the Celtics. This is Game Night, ESPN Radio, ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. I'm Aaron Goldhammer. He is Big O Orlando Franklin. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. And you can jump in with us, 888-729-3776. We'll get back to football in a second. But, Orlando, let's just talk through the end of regulation in the NBA between the Lakers and Celtics in Boston. LeBron clearly gets fouled with under a second to go. I mean, you and I aren't going to argue about that, right? I mean, this was about as blatant,
100%
as blatant as a call gets. There are a bunch of officials out there. They're all looking at it. None of them decide to actually blow the whistle. In the break before the overtime, while LeBron is just screaming and throwing a temper tantrum, Patrick Beverley finds a cameraman that has a still photograph. He's got the evidence, right? He's like, at the end of My Cousin Vinny when they go to the picture with the tire tracks and the positive traction and the Buick Skylark versus he shows the official the still photo of the official's missed call. He's got the evidence. The official tees him up, sends the Celtics to the line. They take the lead at the start of overtime that they never relinquish, and they end up getting the win in OT. Kevin in California is getting fed up with officials making calls, and we're going to give him the floor right now on ESPN Radio. What's up, Kevin?
Dude, I'm so frustrated. I'm 58, and I've played competitive soccer my entire life, and I know bad calls, and I know how calls can affect the game and the outcome, but think about this for a second. When you have a tuck rule that put, the Patriots into their kickstart of their franchise dynasty, these are rules that can make a difference to franchises for billions of dollars and millions of dollars. The Rams never should have made that first Super Bowl against the Patriots. That was a blatant freaking pass interference call. It should have been the Saints. The Saints would have beat the Patriots. We need to have everybody just stand up and say, enough is enough. I'm done. I'm done with the sports. Watching LeBron get fouled tonight, it just makes me sick. I have no trust in it anymore.
Kevin, hold on, Kevin. I love you, Kevin, but you're not done. Like, you're gonna watch the football games tomorrow. Don't lie. You're not done, dude. There's nothing. Orlando, please tell him. He's frustrated because he had money on the Lakers tonight or something. But he's not.
Weekend tomorrow, Kevin.
He's not done. Where's he gonna be? 3:00 Eastern tomorrow, Orlando?
On that couch. On that couch or at the local bar.
I'm done. How many times have we heard a guy say I'm done before? He's not. He's an addict, just like the rest of us. He's not done.
Itching, waiting until tomorrow to get that next little sports fix.
That's what he's gonna be watching the pregame shows, the pregame shows. Look, I agree.
From his kids, like we will be. He's 58. He probably has some young kids like us.
Exactly right. He's trying to pretend like he's asleep, unavailable. Listen, I get the frustration from fans, and I think what the worst to me, is the blatant miss. And I just think with the technology the way it is, in that situation, or if a situation arises in the football games tomorrow, you ought to have somebody that can just buzz down and say, hey, guys, this is going to make our sport look bad. We're all sponsored by FanDuel and DraftKings and PointsBet and BetRivers and all these apps and everything. Like, we got to step in here and say, at some point, this is going to get really ridiculous. Let's get the blatant misses right. The subjective things, the blade of grass, the toe out of bounds, the zooming in on the finger to see who tipped it. Forget about that. Like, that, to me, Orlando, replay shouldn't have a big say in that kind of stuff. I'm talking about the obvious ones that you could look at the replay once and 100 out of 100 people in a bar would say, that is a missed call. We need to fix that.
Yeah, we see it in NFL, right? In the last 2 minutes of the first half and the last 2 minutes of a game, you're not able to challenge plays. Like, that has to be looked at by the referees, right? Somebody has to buzz down. So what about a scenario in the NBA now when you get to those last 2 minutes where exactly what you said, a head referee, or you have these guys that are back in there in New York or wherever in the studios watching these games, where they're able to buzz in, where that buzzer now allows the head ref or just a ref on the staff that we got to take a look at this. Or now you could have an officials timeout in that scenario where now it's so blatant where now the Lakers have a loss on their schedule, on their record as well, on the record, where they should have a win, right? They should have ended that in regulation. Now, I don't know if LeBron goes up there and makes those free throws, because there's nobody since LeBron has entered the league that have missed more, free throws and game time clutch moments than LeBron. I don't have confidence in his abilities to go up there and knock down both of them, but maybe he makes one, maybe AG. That's a big maybe, but I would like to see it for the sport, because fans now would feel a little bit more sense of security, and we won't have our fellows calling in talking about he's done with sports, knowing damn well he's going to be on that couch for 8 hours tomorrow.
Look, first of all, I think LeBron would have he's not a great free throw shooter, but I think he would have made one of them. I don't know how much time then would have been left. I do think officials react differently depending on time and score and situation. Absolutely. And I think in that spot, they didn't want to be the ones to decide the game. But sometimes in approaching it that way, they end up being the ones that decide the game. I do think the Lakers just totally lost their poise with the Patrick Beverley thing.
Okay. Before that, look at LeBron's reaction.
Yes.
LeBron's reaction is what pours gasoline on the fire for Patrick Beverley now to feel like, oh my goodness gracious, I feel comfortable enough to go do this. Oh, you know what? End of regulation. My coach is calling it up. We're discussing how to go win this thing in OT. We only get 5 minutes. I'm going to go to the camera lady or the cameraman and ask for that camera. And now I'm going to the referee, right?
So instead of being in the huddle and talking about how we're going to go win the game in overtime.
Yes. So I believe LeBron's initial reaction and how he was, and that's with anybody, because I promise you this, AG, I played in front of Peyton Manning for 3 years here with the Denver Broncos. And if Peyton would be complaining at the referee, guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be chirping the referee too, because I feel like, oh yeah, the sheriff is doing it and he's upset. Hey, ref, you got to make sure you protect my guy. So I would feel comfortable enough to do it in that situation as well. So I think it started with LeBron, but it ended with Patrick Beverley. And then the Lakers started off that OT down by 1 because of it.
And it's a worthwhile point to make. Game night on ESPN Radio. I'm Aaron Goldhammer. He's Orlando Franklin for the NFL teams tomorrow. If I was coaching one of the 4 teams that's playing tomorrow, in the pregame conversation, I might take a look at that play and say, hey, look, guys, I know there might be a situation today where we get frustrated. It's happened before in a conference championship game that a bad call has, quote unquote, decided the game. But remember, like, we got to stay poised and focused. Let me be the one to argue with the official or whatever, and I'll decide when we throw the challenge flag. But in general, in these games, the most poised and focused team is the one that ends up winning the game. I remember a Super Bowl with Peyton where the ball got snapped over his head on the first play, and maybe poise, ends up factoring in a little bit.
That
Up
Super
next,
Bowl as well.
we talk Brock Purdy. It's game night. I bet you do. On ESPN Radio, the ESPN app.
Your morning start with TJ and Max.
The locker room doesn't like Zach Wilson. They don't want him as a quarterback.
The energy that Mike White has brought to this team is something that I'm not sure Zach Wilson can ever find.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Followed by
Maya Moore stepping away from
ESPN Plus. Sign up now at Lance, You Don't Know Bo, and more. The award-winning 30 for 30 library, streaming exclusively on